Welcome to Diane's Healing Moment. Just want to say and give some inspirational and also calming words. As I've looked around on the internet, everyone is talking to what is so, the stress of it, the lack of it, and the news is 24/7. It's the same story repeating. And when we're bombarded with all this information, it leads us knowingly or unknowingly in a very tumultuous space internally. If you find yourself being overly scared, more aggravated at your loved ones, at your children, at your coworkers, or just within your community. So what I propose is to come on and give us food for thought and to have another perspective. And one of the cards that I drew is on resilience, being resilient, being able to catch yourself when you are going off on a tangent, either within your own head, right? Just sitting by yourself and worrying and listening to the news and worrying about what is going on and what can I do? I can't do anything. I'm by myself. And also looking at the language we use. I've noticed that when we say self-isolation, it implies that we are away from everyone, that we're by ourselves. And oh my gosh, what if something happens? If you say social isolation, it means that you're out of society, right? One way of interpreting it. However, if you look at distancing, using the word distancing, it means you're distancing yourself. You're not isolated, which means you're still connected. And being responsible, in that. And so just looking at the verbiage that you use to talk about what is going on in the world. And when I talk about resilience is to allow yourself to have your breakdown moment, but don't stay in it. Catch yourself, call a friend. We can be isolated from each other physically, but with all the technology, whether you are great with video or you're great with Skype or Zoom, or even if you're not, there's always the phone. There's always texting. If you're part of Facebook, you have an automatic community where you can go and, vent or reach out to friends. But we're not isolated. We are far from it. With technology, and even before the coronavirus came on, with technology, many people weren't out and about. They weren't socializing with thousands of friends in person, right? So a lot of communication, even before this virus started, was through texting, was through Facebook, was through phone conversations. It wasn't necessarily in person. So if you find yourself feeling lonely, reach out to someone. And if you're the person that is bubbly and friendly and you know that you have friends or acquaintances or even coworkers that are more distant, it's not that they don't want to hang out. There's something called hiding, which people do, where they love being around people. They're just not verbally or social about it. They are more the quiet type. But it doesn't mean that they don't need someone to reach out to them. So if you haven't heard of someone in a while, reach out to them. And what I'd like to leave you with today to support you is find a favorite poem or prayer that you say and just repeat it all day long at intervals. Cut down your news watching. If you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is turn on the news, I would urge you to wake up in the morning and turn on some calming music, some spiritual music, some meditative music, And if you're the person that needs to get revved up, then put on some, rock and roll, jazz, whatever works for you. But I would say stay away from the news first thing in the morning. And also, I would say stay away from the news the last thing before you go to bed. Just allow yourself that quiet time. And when I say quiet time, I don't necessarily mean total silence. I mean, not the mayhem that the news provides. You will get the news throughout the day. You can actually schedule it in your calendar to watch the news. There are news channels that they provide the news all day long, so it's repetitive. And I would also urge you to schedule quiet time for yourself. And what I mean by that is taking 5 minutes out of your day, no matter how busy you are, to just sit quietly and either read something or write your feelings down, get it out, or call a friend. So until next time, have a great day. You can always IM me if you want more information. And I wish you well in your practice of resilience.